Well, welcome back. I am working on my final February project, and yes, I know we are in March, but I think I told you in the last video that this was going to happen. The nice thing is it's coming along, and I expect to have this done this week. If I was merely painting, I think I would be near done already, but I'm not. This one actually has some building. Everything here is themed for the most part. So let's start with some of the stuff I've already worked on. This is Malifaux, and he's not quite done. I had to update his base some. All the bases are going to have sort of this rocky theme. And I don't mean like dun dun da 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 da. No, like rocks. And these are all Zinchi. Is that a word? Zinchi. And blue and gold is generally the colors we're going with, but on this guy, he's just Bellicor, and I added a little Zinch symbol there to sort of tie him in a little bit with the rest of it. But let's take a look at some of the other stuff, like this guy here. So he's definitely got more of the color. He actually started out with the Army Painter Crystal Blue, but I changed his skin tone some and left his wings more or less that color, but I added a little patterning in there that you can see. I'm actually really happy. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but I'm really happy with the book. I really enjoyed doing spell books. They're very fun. But so I was taking this, getting some of the low-hanging fruit out of the way. So he was already assembled. Bellicor wasn't assembled, but he was pretty straightforward. And then there was this guy here. Let me see if I can. So this is obviously a converted Chaos Demon Prince. And again, he's got some work done on his base. And he's got wings from, and I can't remember the name of the thing. This is a High Elf flyer. And those got added on. And again, this is not my work. This is just how it was given to me. And again, he had that crystal blue base, and I worked, I think, even closer with that color on this one. And added some pink in there as well. And this is more pretty straightforward in terms of painting goes. Really like it. It's very striking. It really jumps out at you. But then I've got three more things. Actually, let's grab this one. This is the Vrock, and this is an Ultra Forge mini. There really wasn't much to do here. I'm going to do some additions to his base, but otherwise there wasn't too much to his assembly. I mean, there was some. His wings had to be added. His head had to be added. And I still haven't put on his staff, because I'm going to do that after he's painted, because it's going to get in the way otherwise. But he's a beefy monster. He is. He is pretty incredibly cool, though. So he's on the list. And then I've been today working on, and this is the Proteonk from Mears Miniatures. And as you can see, he's gotten a bit of conversion done. Now, let's see if I can find a picture of the actual mini to show you. And then if you look at this guy, you can kind of see what I've done differently. So, so he originally had this sort of little spellfire thing in his hand, and I am replacing that with a pink horror that he is summoning, which is pretty cool because it looks like he's kind of looking at it like, hey, look at the thing I just summoned. Woo! He also had a giant, almost kind of an ankh, or almost a cross, on his chest, and that's been replaced by a symbol of Tzeentch. And what else? Oh, and then I worked on his base today, which is still drying, but he's all pinned and ready to go on it when he's done painting. And when it's done painting, oh, and there's another thing too. So this one was actually the most work in terms of getting it ready for paint. He's got all these feathers, one of which was broken, so I had to one of which was broken, and I had to fix it. They were also really bent in odd ways, and so I had to heat them up and curve them around the way I wanted them. Same thing. Let's see. This one goes on back, and I had to, I curved those as well because I think if they just go straight, they run into things. So I wanted to curve them back. And the worst part of this model is his staff. So his staff has a ton of flash on it, and it's all bent, and even when I heated it up, it didn't, because it was worse than this. And even when I heated it up, it would straighten out, and then when it would cool off, it would bend again. And I said, well, we were going to change the head of this anyway, so what is the point of saving the rest of it? So I started over with just a piece of aluminum rod that I had left over from another project. And again, we've got, this is actually the head of a Tzeentch staff. And then I added just some green stuff and some wire for the base. And I think we're going to end up with a banner on the pole. But that's still not 100% yet. It really kind of depends on how it ends up looking. But so this guy's been a lot of work, a lot more work to get ready than I thought he was going to be. And I'm not even showing you the final bit for this army, and that is the Forge World Lord of Change. And he's probably going to be more work to put together than this guy, because he just has 100 little bits that has to go on him. But I think I'm going to wait and just save that one to the very last and do that after I've assembled and painted all of these guys. But I think he's going to get paint next, because he's going to be pretty straightforward in the paint department. And so I think I can get him done pretty easily. And the Proteank actually has some green stuff that is currently setting. And so I have a bunch of things that I can work on with that before I have to worry about getting to paint. So yeah, I think I will do primary paint on him, and then I'll do the finish work, because I added more base to this guy. See, I actually there's two bases here. And I'm going to build that up with green stuff, but that can come after he's painted. It doesn't have to happen before that. So yeah, so that's where we are with that. And oh, before I forget, I have a handful of little projects for April, but I still have a lot of time left for April. So if you have been thinking about giving me a project, April is a good time. I have a feeling that I'm going to be completely caught up when April rolls around. I'm feeling really good about that. I think that the other projects that I have left for the rest of this month are pretty straightforward, and I feel comfortable that everything for March will be done in March, and then when I hit April, we're all good there. So, April projects, need them, want them. And speaking of April projects, one of the things I'm going to be doing, let me see if I have this handy. I know that many of you are really like my X-Wing repaints. And so I'm going to be repainting an M3A Interceptor and doing a video in April. So you can look forward to that. But that is about it for now, I think. Let me think. I really should make notes before I start recording, because, it would make things a lot easier to remember what the hell I'm supposed to be saying. But, yeah, I need to get back to work and maybe get painting. So, yeah, so that's it for now, and I will talk to you all later.